It is Friday, September 11th, 2015. I am Doug Neill, and this is Verbal to Visual Video. Yesterday, I showed you guys how I made this big poster. But the work actually started before yesterday, with first reading this book and taking notes in the margins while doing so, then creating some note card notes from those book margin notes, then the process of compiling all of them onto this big sheet of paper. And if you watch those videos, you might have thought to yourself, is it really worth the time and effort to do all of that? It's that question that I'm going to address in this video. Let's get into it. To get across my response to that question, I'm going to draw you a graph. Along the bottom of our graph, the independent variable is time. Along the vertical component of our graph, we have our dependent variable, benefits received. I'm going to plot 4 different times at approximately equal intervals that correspond to what we've been talking about these past 3 videos. Reading a book, taking notes in the margins while doing so, getting the ideas out of this book onto note cards in a modular way, and then finally, doing a 1-page summary sketch. Not necessarily this big. There is, of course, value in the simple act of reading a book. But once you start, even just to take a little bit of notes in the margins, despite the extra time that takes, that's going to increase the benefits that you get from that experience. And if you go a step further and take the time to get those ideas out of those underlined pages and notes in the margins and get them into a modular format that you can play around with and compare to different ideas and use in a more tactile way, that results in even more benefits. And if you're going to go with that final step that we showed yesterday of creating some sort of 1-page summary sketch, the benefits increase again because you now have this clear, concise summary that you can put on your wall and refer to forever. So that question of is it really worth your time depends. It depends on what you want to get out of it. If all you want is a pleasurable experience while reading the book and having some of those ideas maybe stick, then no, it's not worth the time. But if it's a book that has ideas that you want to act on, then I think that it absolutely is worth the time, because the more effort you put into working with those ideas yourself, the more likely you are to incorporate them into your actions. That's what this place, Verbal to Visual, is really about. And that's why I started sketchnoting in the first place, because I wanted to close that gap between ideas and action. And taking the time to put together some sort of a visual form to the ideas that you're learning is a way to do that. It's a way to close that gap. So the way I see it, there is an exponential return on the time spent working with ideas in this visual way. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow.